Alright everyone, it is BoLS Battle Report time. Today we are doing another Heresy battle for you. We're doing a 30k battle report over here. We're doing 2,000 points. It is me, BigRed, versus everyone's favorite Alpha Legion operative, Chris Long. Say hi, Chris.
Hey.
There we go. We are totally not playing on a futon. That your eyes are lying to you. Okay, so we have 2,000 point armies. We're playing on, we have our playing on our awesome urban fat mat over here with all the streets and everything, so it makes our battles look really good. And we have tons of terrain over here. We got a bunch of Cities of Death terrain. We have a bunch of Mantic terrain. We got all kinds of stuff here. We even have some Gale Force 9 ruins out there. So we are playing the Relic. It is right there, right in the middle of the table, which as we forge our narrative, you'll see our little model that is actually an Alpha Legion operative sitting there next to his whatever he's guarding.
We need to retrieve him!
And the Alpha Legion need to retrieve him. I won the role to deploy first, so the Death Guard are deployed, and I'm going to go over my army. This is my side over here. As you can see, the sneaky Alpha Legion, they're still currently deploying over there. We'll go over my deployment. Over here, 2,000 points. Over here we have an attack bike squadron. That is 5 attack bikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on my left flank. Those all have multi-meltas. Up here I have Praetor. He's kitted out for smashing squad. So he has Terminator armor, digital lasers, Power Fist, a bunch of other bells and whistles. He has 4 Death Shroud surrounding him up there. Over here we have a Dreadnought Talon. We have 3 Dreadnoughts. We have Twin-Linked Heavy Bolters, Power Fist, and Havoc. We have Twin-Linked Laser Cannon and Power Fist, and then we have Multi-Melta and Power Fist. So all 3 of those. Over here towards the center and the right, we have 2 20-man tactical squads. Those are each led by a sergeant with a power scythe and artificer armor. There is an apothecary in each one of those, which is handy, and then somewhere hidden, I'm not going to tell you where he is, you're just going to have to look at the film really carefully. Somewhere in here is a Moritat with, post-fac, he cannot use his twin plasma pistols anymore, but he is armed with 2 Volkite Serpentas, so he should be doing crazy amounts of hits, so we'll see how that guy turns out. And then in reserve, almost forgot, in reserve, we have a squad of 4 land speeders with dual heavy bolters each. So they will be deep striking. And we will turn it over to Chris to go over his Alpha Legion list in just a second. And we're back. All right, Mr. Long, let's run through the Alpha Legion. What do we got?
All right, so the primary attachment's actually Mechanicum. So I have the Archmagos with the, he's got a chain fist and a meltagun. And I think that's it.
Okay.
And he's with a unit of Thalax that are troops with a multi-melta.
Okay.
I've got 20 Ad Secularis that are fearless and feel no pain.
That's these little guys in the front?
Yeah, the little guys here.
Okay.
Back here I got my Thanatar hiding in the ruins.
Of course.
Love him.
All right.
My other heavy for the Mechanicum is a Questoris Knight.
Nice.
And then for the Alpha Legion, they're led by Armillus Dynat. He's joined to a unit of 5 Headhunters here.
All right.
Nice.
Nice.
I have a Contemptor, a Mortis Contemptor with double autocannons.
Okay.
And then also over here, I have a unit of Terminators with power axes, and another unit of Terminators with combi meltas and a Thunder Hammer in there, and assorted power weapons.
All right. So you're definitely running the small but elite army.
Yes, compared to your vast hordes of power armor.
Yes. Alrighty. And you gonna try to seize?
Oh yes, yeah, you are going first, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Come on, Alpha Legion.
No.
That is a no. All right, we'll get back to you at the top of 1. All right, we're back. It's the top of 1. Actually, a pretty eventful round of shooting for the Death Guard, considering much more than I thought was going to happen on turn 1. Over here on the far left, the attack bikes kind of moved out into this little alley area here, and they drew line of sight. You can see it over there. There's some Terminators they are firing at through some of those open structures in that white building, and put a bunch of multi-melta and twin-linked bolter fire on them. Dropped 3 of them, so that was surprisingly good. Praetor and the Death Shroud moved on up. The Dreadnought Talon moved out and took some pot shots at the Magos, and his Thalax doing nothing. And then, but we did get a twin-linked laser cannon shot from the middle Dreadnought, which did put one whole point on the Knight. And then way over here on the far right, this group of Death Guard, Fury of the Legion into those seekers over there and headhunters, and we put a bunch of wounds on them, but they made an amazing round of saves, and we only dropped one guy. So that is all in all pretty happy with that for top of 1, and we'll get back to you soon. We'll see what the Alpha Legion respond. All right, we're back at the bottom of 1, and the Alpha Legion and Mechanicus have moved up. All right, Chris, what do we got?
All right, so this unit of Terminator Cataphractes just moved up and ran a little bit, trying to get into a little more relevant spot.
Those were the ones who lost their 3 guys previously.
Correct.
Okay.
Same kind of happened with these guys.
Right, they've moved up.
The Thanatar back here launched its plasma mortar and kind of mauled those attack bikes.
Oh yeah.
Some vengeance.
Mm-hmm. Killed half the squad.
This unit also moved up and ran to get closer to the relic.
Yep, they're all huddling right around the Aegis defense line.
Yeah, hoping to get cover for that inevitable fury of the Legion that's coming. So the Knight took shots and killed some members of that unit.
3 of them. Yep.
And various heavy shooting did 2 out of 3 hull points to that front dreadnought and blew off its Havoc launcher.
That's it. All
I
right.
think that was from this Contemptor and the Thalax multi-melta.
And then the Thalax hopped over.
Yeah, and then they jetpacked out of line of sight.
Very sneaky.
And that's it.
All right, and there we go. We'll get back to you at the top of 2. Buddy, we're back top of 2, and as you can see, I have completely moved up my left flank. The center and the right are staying put with the 2 20-man Legion squads in those buildings. The Dreadnought Talon, the Praetor, and the Death Shroud, and the remaining attack bikes all swung up into here. We also had some deep strike action way over there. The 4 land speeders deep struck into the deployment zone of the Alpha Legion. Unfortunately, over there, what was that? That was a Mortis Contemptor with 2 twin-linked autocannons, and it just was sitting up there waiting for some deep striking to happen. And he knocked 1 of the 4 out with the Interceptor Skyfire before it arrived. The other 3 landed there, and then we used everything that we had. So all those heavy bolts. So that's 6 heavy bolters over there. We had heavy bolters here. We had this squad that was fresh, Fury of the Legion. All of that fired into the
Ad Secularis.
The Ad Secularis, killing 19 out of 20 of them. There's the one last guy sitting right there.
Still no first blood.
Still no first blood. And then all of the heavy weapons, we had, 4 multi-meltas, twin-link laser cannons, variety of other things. Everything laid into the Knight and did nothing. He made all of his saves with that darn ion shield. So that is where we ended up. Fired everything we can. It's pretty. It's a very Death Guard game. Holding my ground, shooting, lots of bolters, lots of infantry action, and the relic. There's not a lot near the relic. Everything that moved up just got mowed down. So we'll see what happens. Bottom of 2. All right, we're at the bottom of 2, and the Alpha Legion have come back so strong. All right, Chris, what do we got?
All right, so over here, the Thalax turned around to deal with the speeders and mostly did that. There's 1 with 1 hull point that's stunned left there.
And trapped in assault.
Yep. Both the Thanatar and the Knight sort of pounded this area here.
Did a little bit of damage.
Killed the attack bike and that 1 dreadnought, which actually was first blood for the game.
Right.
Both these Terminator units advanced and failed their relatively short charges, but they were through difficult terrain there.
Mm-hmm. On the attack bikes.
And the big thing of the game is the Knight charged into this big 20-man squad, killed a couple guys. They failed morale. They don't have and they shall know no fear. He kicked them all to death. So, kind of took that flank single-handedly. And my last Ad Secularis ran up here and is now claiming the relic. So let's see if the Death Guard can do anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, going into turn 3. All right, we're back at the top of 3. I am trying to execute some kind of defense against that Knight, which is just a problem. So everyone has swung forward up into the street. We got all the multi-meltas in range. We put multi-melta fire on it. We put twin-link laser cannon fire. We did actually do 2 more hull points to it, so it's down to 3. Yay. Everyone else, these guys couldn't fire because they were reloading, so they just kind of shuffled around a little bit. The big news, though, was that the Praetor and his Death Shroud moved up and used their chem flamers on the 5-man squad, which is no longer there, of Alpha Legion Terminators, and then charged them. So they're all dead. We lost 1 Death Shroud in that whole combat, and then they have consolidated up in there, right there next to the relic. Also, to no one's surprise, the last land speeder was finished off in close combat by the Magos with his super techno chain fist, whatever it is. So we're moving into the bottom of 3. It is just a regular. It's just a regular chain. He picked it up at Lowe's. So all right, and we'll get back to you at the bottom of 3. All right, we're at the bottom of 3. The Knight's rampage continues. We'll see if the Death Guard can hold out. All right, Chris, tell me of the Knight's actions in the center.
First off, the Helix Plasma Mortar got a solid hit onto the Death Shroud and killed the Praetor and 2 of the 3 Death Shrouds that were left.
Yes.
Then, basically, I did some other pot shots and hurt the immobilized Dreadnought some more.
Knocked off its laser cannon.
Killed an attack bike and a couple guys there with the battle cannon.
Yep.
And threw the heavy stubbers into the last Death Shroud, didn't hurt him, charged in, and killed the last Death Shroud with the Knight. So I am holding the center with the Knight currently.
All right, and we're headed into the top of 4. Get back to you guys soon. All right, guys, we're back top of 4. Oh my gosh, look at the center of the board. Look what's not there. We had some totally awesome stuff happening. I feel like maybe I have like a 5% chance of victory now. Just maybe. So the big thing that happened, so all of the Legion who can now fire this turn, they moved up, got into the street. They lit up that last little tech thrall. He's gone. No big deal there. We had the last Dreadnought move up right in front of the Knight. The attack bike got to the side, so it had to choose where its shield was going to go. The shield blocked the Dreadnought's multi-melt the shot, but the attack bikes got through and put 1 on it, dropping it to 2. And the Dreadnought, here she is. We call her Seraphina. It's a dude inside, but the actual Dreadnought body, it's all lady. So with her 2 hull points left, she charged in, did 2 to the Knight, killed it. The Knight attacked back, killed it. They both died. Minor explosion, and there we go. So the last Dreadnought of the Dreadnought Talon gave its life to get rid of that Knight that was just rampaging through the lines. So now. Got a bunch of dudes left. We have an immobilized Dreadnought left. We have an attack bike left. We do have a Mortat with 2 Volkite Serpentas hanging out back there, and the Alpha Legion, they have a good amount of stuff left, but it's just kind of our armies we've pretty much punched each other in the face pretty hard. So we're heading to the bottom of 4, and we'll see who can. And the relic is just everything that's gotten within 12 inches of the relic has died. So it's all clear. And we'll see you guys at the bottom of 4. All right, it is the bottom of 4. The Death Guard lines are becoming very thin, but we will not. We will never surrender. The all of the remaining Death Guard Alpha Legion moved up, so they're now still no one is on the relic, but the Magos and his group is over there. Arminius Dynat and his headhunters are over there. These last 2 Terminators are over here. You have the big problem, however, is that to reach it, there's open ground, and you have the Contemptor with the autocannons, which is a medium threat. It's not really that bad. It's that the Thanatar is in that building, dropping that giant 5-inch plasma pie plate that just kills Marines dead anytime they're in the open. So that is a problem, and I have nothing that can deal with it at this point anymore. So we have a bunch of guys over here. Hanging out, all the ones who moved into the street got gunned down, and the last attack bike is now dead.
So, keeping with tradition of clearing the area around the relic, we'll see if the Death Guard can do that to my units that are now somewhat close to the relic.
And we will get back to you at the top of 5. Top of 5, the last push. Not much happened. All of the Death Guard moved into the street, took shots at the Mechanicus, inflicting a couple wounds on him, nothing big. And the Mortat was going to come out and do his big super move, but he was in cover and rolled Snake Eyes to go through his difficult ground roll, so he's just stayed put. So there we go, heading to the bottom of 5. I think that the Alpha Legion has it. It is as grim as it can get for the Death Guard without technically having lost the game. So what happened? The squad that was in the center, that was in the street, it got charged by Dynat's squad and the Headhunters and the remaining Terminators. They charged it from both sides. they did manage to kill one of the Terminators, and then lost and got run down. So the relic has been the Magos and the Thalax have taken the relic. They have it as of the bottom of 5. These 2 squads have moved up right here, and the only Death Guard model that is still alive on the board is the Moritat with 2 Volkite Serpentas waiting there. So someone's going to get it. That is, if the game doesn't end right now. Here we go. Live rolling it for you guys. On 1 or 2, it's over.
It keeps going.
That is a 4. The Moritat is going to get... I don't think I can win this game, but he's going to take someone with him. So
who's coming with me?
We'll talk to you guys at the top of 6. All right, it is the top of 6, and it is over. The Moritat decided to go out in a blaze of glory. He ran out into the street, pulled out his 2 Volkite Serpentas, took aim at the Magos, blazed away, unfortunately rolled 1s far too soon, and his chain attack only did 4 hits. Put a couple wounds on him. They made the Magos made both of the saves, pulled out his power sword, charged, and did some hits, didn't wound him, and then the chain fist killed him. So there he is. He died, and that is a tabling for the Death Guard. I am sad. But
they never gave up.
They never gave up, and the Moritat died within feet of the relic. And that is how we roll.
Should have shot at the operative.
Oh, don't talk about that. All right, so MVP of the game.
The Thanatar!
Yes, the Thanatar. The Thanatar, it wasn't actually the Knight. The Knight was a problem. The Knight he ran all the way over here and collapsed, losing an intact 20-man squad. That really, really hurt. And then he moved over here. But, overall, outside of that, we did actually deal with it and kill him. But that Thanatar, turn after turn after turn, he consistently was just mauling squads. So the whole game, that Thanatar, he's the guy who pull that guy out of the building, because it is a really, really awesome conversion. That guy on turn 1, he mauled half of the attack bikes. Then he was the one who also killed the Praetor and Death Shroud once they're on, which was the squad that had a really good chance of actually just dropping the Knight, because the Praetor is so nasty. And then on 2 different turns, just killed really large amounts of just guys as they advanced into the street. So pretty much that is the model that shut me down, and I didn't have anything that could deal with it. But it was a great game. We love 30K. Totally a lot of fun. We got to see a lot of really cool units, and next time I'm going to bring the Malkador. We've learned our lesson. So talk to you guys next time. Chris?
Awesome.